Here it is, Thursday morning, the 10th of March, and we're about to take a cruise out from Milford Sound. Now we've begun our cruise.
Glacier is really here, formed about 80,000 years ago. The ice on that glacier started to melt about 14,000 years ago. And the ice flow in that period of time was over a mile a second, of about 4,000 years for that large glacier to melt. The National Park is actually one of the largest in the world. It has a land area of over 3 million acres, 3,125,000 acres to be exact, making it larger than all the rest of the national parks in New Zealand put together. Definitely chosen a beautiful day to visit Milford Sound today. As we cruise around here, the average height of the mountains you'll be seeing is about 1,500 metres. These mountains were created when granite rock that lay on an ancient seabed was forced up into these mountain shapes by movement in the continental plates in this area. At the moment we're cruising across the Pacific continental plate. This joins with the Indo-Australian plate on a line about 3 kilometres to the west of the entrance of this fjord. This is the top of Mitre Peak. No special climbing equipment is needed, just a lot of enthusiasm. Look around the skies here this morning, there's a lot of aircraft activity. Back to Milford Airport, it's one of the busiest in New Zealand. A beautiful day like this, we have over 100 aircraft movements in the period of a day. If they can enjoy the cruise, I'll explain a bit about local history and natural history. Point out things of interest during the cruise. Hunting down the ridge to the left of that once again. The next mountain back this way is called the Lion. Just because if you use your imagination, there's the shape of a lion crouching down up there. The mountain you can see up ahead to the right-hand side with a lot of snow around the tops is Mount Pembroke. It's the highest mountain in the immediate area. We'll get a bit of a look at Mount Pembroke as we come back down the countries such as America, England and Australia to hunt the tens of thousands of these seals that were around the coastline in those days. Unfortunately, these days of course are a protected species. Well, made so in 1900. Fur sealing only happened once after that in 1946. And I see a reasonable sized group of these seals. I say that an orange coloured algae that can be seen on the rocks in places. You may notice this as you drive up here, about 3 metres above the waterline, dead ahead of the boat. You'll see 3 large green dots which are copper deposits bleeding out through the rock. You'll see these 3 large green dots just coming into view, just dead ahead of the boat at the moment in this little cave we're heading towards. Apart from the
and he stepped out with him on the streets or something. I never seen him walk in the high parts of the sea. But I can't believe it. I got to see all of it. Hanging valley. As you can see with the distinctive U-shape in this valley over there, it's another feature of the glacial movement in this area. This was a primary glacier that was flowing into the main glacier that created this fjord.
Sometimes the wind comes through this tunnel here at the speed of 100 miles an hour.
If you look on the rocks just ahead to the left-hand side, you'll see some more southern fur seals here. I'll raise the boat in place to give you a Good opportunity to view and photograph these seals up close. As you look through the waterfall about 3/4 of the way up, you've got the colours of a rainbow going through here once again. This waterfall is called the Fairy Falls, sometimes referred to as the Whiskey Falls. Just be careful of your cameras or anything else that may get damaged with water when we're in close here. If you get a little bit wet getting a drink of water out of the waterfall, there's some towels available at the servery. Even if you don't wish to get a...
Regenbogen.
Ist das ein Jungbrunnen oder was?
Right-hand bend at the entrance to this fjord, so from out at sea it looks no more than a bay in here. This effect fooled explorers such as Captain James Cook into sailing straight past here. It's the reason this fjord wasn't discovered by Europeans until 1809. The discovery of this fjord was attributed to a Welshman by the name of Captain John Grono. Like many of his associates at the time, he was here hunting southern fur seals. And with his Welsh heritage, it's the reason many of the mountains, bays and points of land in this area are named after places in Wales. To be swept up into these piles by the next glacier that forced its way through here. Now you'll get a view out into the Tasman Sea. If we keep steaming out in the northwesterly direction for about another 5 days at the speed we're doing at the moment, we'll reach the coastline of Australia that lies about 1100 nautical miles away in that direction. And I believe most of you have already been to Australia so far, so we won't bother going quite that far today. If we sail south of St Anne's Point, that's way ahead to the left there, and continue down the coastline for another 200 kilometres, we'd find the other 13 fjords that make up the Fjorden National Park.
We're now on our way back from our Milford cruise. We were just out to the Tasman Sea, and now we see the snowy peaks ahead of us again. This has been a wonderful ride.
Rocks on the left-hand side now, looks like we've got about half a dozen opportunities to view these seals up close.
Captain.
Mike, I'm Mike Thomas. Hello there.
Yes.
How you doing? Looks like you're having a happy day.
Well, God sent us a wonderful weather.
It certainly has today, that's for sure.
Those seals are having a ball.
You want that?
We're going to take a close look at the Stirling waterfalls now, that you can see pouring down the cliff faces dead ahead. See if we too look no bigger than a small toy when viewed from the opposite side of the fjord in here.
Do this every day, 4, 5, 6 days a week?
We work 10 days on, then get 4 days off.
Oh, nice.
This boat does either 2 or 3 trips a day. But this is the best time of the day to be here in the morning. The water's all nice and calm, wildlife is disturbed. As the day goes on, we often get a day breeze blowing down here. It's a little bit windy and rough.
We thought we may see some penguin along here, but they're not up this far, is that right?
You've got to be pretty lucky to find a penguin around here at this time of the year, because the only ones we get in here are called Fiordland crested penguins. They're actually the rarest penguin in the world, but they only come in here from about July to about the end of September for breeding. And then they head out to sea for the rest of the year and just come back in here just for the odd 1 or 2 for molting. Sort of turn up any time just for the odd 1 or 2. You've got to be pretty lucky to find them at this time of the year. We've got another good photo opportunity coming up as I'll take the boat in close to the Stirling waterfalls for you. Waterfall was 1968. Aboard the HMS Cleo at the same time were Lord and Lady Bowen. It was the Bowen Falls we saw at the exit to the wharf area that was named after Lady Bowen. It seems like these people had a good time in the fjord, taking in the sights and naming waterfalls after themselves.
The vegetation is just amazing on these mountain cliffs. How does it cling? Again, we're back to the glacier on the mountain, which is about 100 feet thick and remains there year-round. We've just returned from the boat trip out Milford Sound and to the Tasman Sea, and this is the other end of the sound, and we were just amazed at how beautifully clear this water is. You can see right to the bottom of it. One last look before we move on to the south and going farther and farther away from home. Well, we've now left the Milford Sound, and we've moved down here on the east side of our tunnel, and we've stopped to note that often the road tends to wash out here, and a beautiful crystal clear river runs down from the mountains. Up this roaring river are large snow-capped mountains that feed the water down here. And the rocks are rounded, so many of them are rounded, which is supposed to be attributed to glacial activity. Kayaking is not recommended here. Well, we've come down out of the mountains and now we're in Mossburn. It's a little town right out here in the plains. And I guess every little town has its memories. Those trucks you see on the road all the time, they're usually jammed up with sheep. That one happens to be empty. When we said we were going to go south, down under, we really meant it. Over to the north of us is the town of Invercargill, which is at the very southern tip of New Zealand, and a peninsula comes out from there, across there, and down here, and down to the little town of Bluff. And there's the whole picture. We are on the bluff now, the farthest southernmost place in New Zealand. There are islands to the south of us. Particularly Stewart Island, which is lost in the fog. This is March the 10th, 1994, and it's about 6:45 in the evening. Temperature here is about 62 degrees, with a light wind blowing up here, and a magnificent view. Joan? It is at this point that the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea meet. And we're told that the strait that goes between Stewart Island and the mainland is a very dangerous one. Und man hat nicht viel Gelegenheit in Amerika, Deutsch zu sprechen.
Ja, das ist richtig. Und Ihre Mutter, der Vater, kommt aus Deutschland?
Nicht ganz. Wir sind die
Zweite Generation.
1905,
wir sind die Wolkedeutsch.
nach dem Zweiten Weltkrieg, ausgewandert.
Ja, 1800 oder 1810 sind meine Leute ausgewandert zum Ukraine.
Ja, ja.
Dann bleiben sie bis 1870. Dann wie sagt man, sie sind wieder ausgewandert nach Amerika.
Hi.
Okay, was ist Ihr Name?
Gabriele.
Oh, Katharina?
Gabriele.
Gabriela.
Yes.
Ja, genau.
Und
Christian.
Christian von
Österreich.
Wien, ja. Vielen Dank.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Danke. Gut.
Now at Southport, and it's March the 11th, and we're just going to take a look at what the harbor is like. That makes short work of a truckload of lumber, logs. I'm out here on the pier in Bluff, where timber is brought in. What appear to me to be very, very beautiful logs. But it's mostly pine, I'm told. The pine comes in on big trucks like this. You see it everywhere. This trucker over here is unleashing his load and preparing to dump, and then they grind it into pulp, into chips. So from the truck to the grinder to the elevator, to a mountain of wood chips that go to Japan and Korea. And then probably a chipboard goes to America. That log there is 45 years old. There are 45 rings. So from the bottom of New Zealand, all over the world, these wood chips go and are made into final products. And the trucks are lined up this morning. They have been getting up early and starting to work. This tag on the one of the logs indicates information about it. It's a fir tree. Some of the wood is debarked before it's sent away, and that is called, that's an upside down one, that is called pruned peelers. And here's another kind of wood. It's K. radiata. The man at the front gate told me that the commercial fishermen go out from here in boats similar to this, and that most of them are out. He said they were probably fishing on the west shore, and he said you better watch out. It's about 7 in the morning. He said you better watch out. These Kiwis don't drive very safe early in the morning till about 10 o'clock. They come alive. And I said, why? Because they've been out drinking all night. He said, no, because they've been out womanizing all night. So this is the fishing pier. And here's where we've been. So it's really a very beautiful day here on the southern tip of New Zealand. Sunny and clear. About 55 degrees. There's a museum here, but it doesn't open until 10, and we really won't have time to hang around. The gulls are coming in great numbers.
There are some men doing some work over here. Assembly line. They're pushing up, tossing something to each one in turn.
Well, before we leave this little town of Bluff, we have to give credit to the folks here at the Bayview Hotel. Marie Perkins. Perkins, your wife wouldn't let me put her on film.
Oh, would she not?
No, she said she had too many freckles or something.
This is Nikita.
Hi, Makita. How are you, baby? Good to see you. How many children do you have, Keith?
I have a daughter and a son, and this 2 granddaughters.
Uh-huh.
And a grandson.
Oh, I met Adam last night.
There's the granddaughter getting away.
Well, we had a wonderful time here last night.
It's very good.
Yes. You enjoy this business?
Oh, it's all right. It's different. It's all right.
Yeah, it's hard work too, isn't it?
Oh, you're long there sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Right on.
All right. We're in the city of Invercargill, and here is the Center Square Memorial and Clock, and it's 10 of 10 in the morning. This is the southernmost city of New Zealand. It's a very pretty and clean town. And over there are school children, perhaps ready to go on a school trip somewhere. Stopped here for gas and spent $40 for a tank full. Unleaded is 88.9 New Zealand cents for 1 liter. A liter is around a quart. So it ends up to be about somewhat over twice as expensive for Americans to buy gas here. Though diesel is very inexpensive, and many places have LPG, liquid propane gas. All gas stations provide full service. Windshields are washed, and they'll do anything else that you want them to with your car. And many of them have nice shops like this, or dairies they call them, where you have ice creams of all different kinds. The ice cream is superb. These birds were behind this little craft shed, really way out in the country. This is the longest 2 kilometers we have driven since we came to New Zealand. It's a bumpy road that's cut right through the Catlin Forest, where there's an incredible variety of flora and fauna. Well, maybe not so much fauna, lots of birds though. And we've come down here to see the Cathedral Caves. Wo von Deutschland sind Sie?
Aus München.
München. Ah,
Ich bin kein Münchner,
nein?
also kein Bayer. Ich bin in Badener.
Badener. Ah.
Ich komme aus Heidelberg. Heidelberg kennen Sie
Oh,
auch, oder?
Heidelberg,
Ja,
wunderschön.
Heidelberg, ja.
Ich habe die
Kartel und so.
Was machst du da?
Ja. Und Sie kommen von?
Ich komme aus Bayern, aus dem Landkreis Eichach-Friedberg, also das ist so 60 Kilometer von München entfernt,
Ah, ja, ja.
aus einem kleinen Dorf.
Ja, ich habe nur 2 Stunden im Heidelberg gehabt.
Ja, 2 Stunden.
Das ist nicht genug.
Nur für Schluss wahrscheinlich, ne?
Ja, im Königsstuhle.
Königsstuhl.
Ja, Universität.
Ja.
Ja. Ich wollte etwas ausfinden von dem Heidelberg Katechismus. Haben Sie jemals davon gehört? Es ist ein reformierter Katechismus. Die reformierte Kirchen, wissen Sie davon?
Ja.
Weiß ich nicht.
Ja. And we'll proceed down through a rather wet and slippery path. What a wonderful walk. Certainly has all the characteristics of a tropical rainforest, though the trees aren't terribly high. But the ferns are beautiful. There are many different plants, some of which are parasites. And after this long and slippery walk, this is the view that captures our attention. Here are the cathedral beaches. Magnificent as the Pacific pounds here. Wide, smooth beaches. And there ahead of us are the caves, but they are inaccessible at this time because of the tide. We are amazed at the size of some of the seaweed that has been washed up from the ocean here. The work of water on rocks can be seen here as we see this crack that's been cut wider and wider by water. On the way back up from the beach, we keep being amazed at the beauty of this forest. And how the moss and the algae grow on the trees. It would be nice to see the caves.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Kanangana. Kaitangana.
Where's
Just out
the-
of Bell Clifford.
Oh, we live here.
I see. So you can come down anytime.
Anytime. Yeah, I've been into them about 3
Yeah.
times.
Uh-huh. Well, you hope you can go in there sometime.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Rightio.
The walk itself is magnificent.
It's really beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Later. Ta-ra.
We're about to meet the mastermind who put this marvelous mobile home together with its solar panels on the top and all the conveniences of home.
What's he saying to himself? 6 clothes pegs, a rake for leaves, a flight of stairs, and don't forget bacon. 6 clothes pegs, a rake for leaves, a pile of chairs, don't forget bacon.
Are you the mastermind that put this vehicle together?
Can't blame anybody else.
We're going to stay tonight so that Tony can see.
What's your first name?
My name's Tony.
Tony. Wayne is mine.
Hi, Wayne.
My wife is Joan.
Hi, Joan.
Is that homeschooling?
This is kindergarten, correspondence kindergarten, done by the Education Board of New Zealand. They send them out to all sorts of children that live on farms that are really isolated, and also people like us that move around. Has been kicked out of schools and been told not to bother coming back because they're too disruptive, and then they get put onto correspondence school. And also intellectually handicapped children, special needs children, that kind of stuff. They go on correspondence school as well.
A lot of people in the United States are homeschooling by choice.
Yeah.
Just because they want to.
Yes.
12 years?
That's a beautiful job.
12 years you've been here?
12. Yeah.
And do you just travel around the country?
Yeah, yeah. Freedom camping, as we call it.
Uh-huh. And your income is from?
Making felt products. Felt boots, jackets, swan dries, hats.
Alfie was very excited about it.
So before we have to be up there, so at the moment we're travelling every second or third day. But sometimes we'll stop for longer stays, several weeks, or if it's right and works right, up to several months. But,
What kind of work are you going to do in the Northlands?
milk cows and feed calves. More for the wife's parents, actually. Have a farm up there.
Do they think you're crazy, or did they at one time think you're crazy?
My parents did. They tried to give us the money to buy a house originally, rather than this. But Anne's parents, no. I suppose they thought we were a bit strange at first, but 12 years down the line they've seen that it's given us a good quality of life.
Well, if we come back in about 5 years, he'll build a new one, and we'll see that one. We're still in the Catlin Mountains and the area that we've been to down to the beach and the caves is set aside and belongs to the Maoris. What a waste. Why aren't we living here? Like those intelligent people over there. From the Catlin Forest that we've just driven through, right down to the white sand beach. This panorama is such a typical New Zealand landscape with its incredible contrasts and variety. As we look down the road in the far distance, the sheep, which are ever present, are grazing in the pasture. The mountains in the distance. The tall grasses by the roadside. Variety of flora everywhere. And the green mountainsides. How lovely. Leaving the Catlins, we come to this little village of Owaka. And there's not a lot here to see. If you blink, you might just miss it. Now it's time for us to have a little picnic by the Calutha River in a town called Belcalutha. A nice little town and a beautiful little park right out there by the river. There's some extra French fries left here, and we're taking care of the local gulls here, all of which will have serious indigestion because the fries were pretty greasy. They're pretty hard going down. We've just taken the windy, extremely dangerous road way out here to the peninsula outside of Dunedin. We're going to go and see if there's any albatross. There's the giant albatross. World War I. Very high winds out here today. It's already 8 o'clock in the evening, and we've really rushed to get out here to a very, very desolate and rugged place. But there are penguins. There they are. It seems to be the only place in New Zealand this time of the year that penguins show up. There they are. I think it's the best we can do. And There they are in the edge of the water. There's what we're looking at. Very, very difficult place to get to. Perhaps it's partly by faith. Somehow they don't look like penguins through this lens. Sorry to say, I don't think those are penguin because I see them flying and flapping their wings. Those are gulls. It's near dark now, and we have about 20 miles of very rough and dangerous road to take up that way over the mountain and alongside the bay. So we hope to get there and get to bed. Here on Signal Hill in Dunedin is the New Zealand Centennial Memorial, the 100-year memorial. We'll take a closer look as we also look over this beautiful city. And here is the city of Dunedin, which was named by the Scottish settlers who came here. The name Dunedin was an old name for Scotland. It's really a very beautiful city with the peninsula going far, far out there. That's where we were last night, about 18 miles, with its port. What we've noticed about all the cities here is they're very clean, and the people are very proper and polite. Actually, I'm going to make a little correction here. This is the peninsula from the city here going out, and there's a road. We may be able to see the cars going along that road right by the water. See them there? There's one right there, going right by the water and cruising out here well over 15 miles to the Albatross and penguin colonies. Here on busy George Street in Dunedin is a Presbyterian church named after John Knox. We're now in the center of Dunedin, and here is St. Paul's Church, a massive Anglican church, one of the first built here in this country. And we'll go in and take a look. With a high vaulted ceiling. The pulpit from which the Word of God should be sown. Love to hear it played. And next door to this magnificent church is the City Hall. Flags are seldom seen flowing here. This little mall just for a quick walkthrough. Civic Center. We have to wait. Yeah. Yep. I don't guess the visitor center is worth our visit. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to stop in the library for just 2 minutes. Check something in the atlas. This is something you do not find in America. It's a lovely public library here with all of their signs both in English and in Maori. We're still in Dunedin and this is called First Church. I understand it's a Presbyterian church and one of the first established here by the Scottish people when they first arrived. Beautiful old style architecture. Ah, yes. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Here on this windy beach, see an unusual rock formations. We'll go down to take a look at them now. Taking a very close look at the potch marks in this particularly round boulder here. Here's one which is deteriorated and broken in pieces. Not much can be said. We'll let the rocks speak for themselves. Closer look into the interior, it appears that they may have been hollow on the inside. Here are perhaps the two largest ones. From looking from the north to the south, we get a complete picture. They're strewn along the seashore here, but not for very far. Amazingly, there are just a few dozen of them so far as we can see, and that's it. I think on the other side, about a half a mile down, there are a few more. And here in the cliffside, which goes off inland, there appears to be one which is washed out of the cliffside. Perhaps they were underground for many years. Amazing. They're rather colorless, but quite an amazing formation. And perhaps there are dozens, hundreds, or thousands of them underneath this area where we're walking. We don't see an awful lot of insects here, but here's a very pretty butterfly. This is that dreadful bush called gorse, G-O-R-S-E, and it just goes and takes over everything. And if they want to kill it, it must be poisoned. Some areas have been cleared, but everywhere on the North Island and the South Island, this gorse has taken over the roadsides and killed many of the native plants. Here, about a half a mile south of where the other boulders were, are these, which have experienced the wear of the sea much more than those to the north. They appear to be exactly of the same kind. On this beautiful beach. And looking down the beach another quarter of a mile, there appear to be more which have also deteriorated pretty much. However, we don't see any sampling of them in the walls of these cliffs. We're in the little town of Timaru, which is on the Pacific coast, and we noticed that even though it's going toward the middle of March, they haven't even taken their Christmas decorations down yet. Oh, we've been all over the place. White clover in here.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to separate, isn't it?
Reasonably hard, yeah. There's a bit of rubbish in amongst it, but not too bad.
Focusing here on a special ceremony at the end of the Presbyterian Church worship service here in Christchurch. Sister there and some of the other fellows, in order to make a point, smash a bunch of glasses on the floor when they're done. It makes it very interesting. And the cups that are left we will use to serve some nice tea. Lindley Roberts and his wife have an itinerant ministry. What's your ministry, Lindley?
You're supposed to be videoing that over there.
I did. What's your ministry?
Smashing cups.
Oh. Actually, you're what's it called?
Political Foundations International.
Okay. And you do what then?
Well, we minister in churches and colleges and places around the world wherever we need it.
I see. Very good.
You got a white one.
Yeah, it's a gypsophila.
Trevor, what's your last name?
Webb.
Webb. And you're a soil scientist?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And a king gardener.
Well, I'm not a king gardener, really. I play about.
Too busy in the church, Wayne, to be able to garden as much as you'd like.
Well, that's the way it is with us. What is this called, Trevor?
It's a bottle brush.
Bottle brush. That's the popular name, I'm sure.
Yes.
It's Australian.
I think it's Australian, yes. A Banksy of some sort.
And what is the red?
Oh, that I don't know.
Blossom?
Yeah. This is an interesting bush, the sage bush. This flowers for about 5 months of the year. Just sits there, just flowers. I cut it right back each spring, right away back. It just grows and just covers that bit of garden for a bit.
Like the,
it is a herb, really. You don't need to crush it much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quite strong.
Right. That's good. Everything grows bigger here.
Crabs.
Oh, no, they'll ripen at that size, and then the birds will take them.
I see.
I'll bet that's beautiful when it flowers in the springtime.
Yes.
Loaded with flowers.
Loaded with apples right now. They're not good for eating or anything?
But good for making jelly.
There seem to be roses everywhere.
There's a ripe one, right?
Let's see them. Oh yes. Oh look, they're large.
Well, they're actually quite small this year, but in the past they've been big. But
look at the canna you have over there. Beautiful.
Lemons are the most hardy of the citrus throne. Oranges and grapefruit.
this is quite a beautiful tree. It comes out in berries again. You see the berries are just coming on it.
And
it's a nice form, and it just beautifully comes out nice and bright red berries.
These are dahlias. The whites as well as the...
Yeah, all of those are dahlias, yes.
Beautiful. And what is your friend's name here?
It's Trixie, Springer Spaniel.
Man's best friend. What, is that a citrus?
No, it's just grows leaves. It's got, you can see the little berries on it there that I presume the birds probably eat those as well, I don't know.
Do
But,
they ever turn colour, or are they always green?
I think they're always green.
Always green?
Do you know what genus that is?
Bristolinia littoralis.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's a
yeah.
beautiful chrysanthemum.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we have a lot of chrysanthemums. That's very, very nice. Japanese type of flower.
What is the asparagus here? Is that real asparagus?
No, there's not asparagus. I wish Mary was here. No. Can you get Mary out here? I'm floundering a bit.
Is it casuarina?
No. This is the thing that goes pink in.
Grevillea?
No. Tamarisk. Tamarisk.
Tamarisk.
It goes. This is just about due to lose its leaves. Go all yellow, and all the leaves will fall off. And then in springtime, right over the whole area of it, you get little pink flowers.
Oh, how nice.
Just comes right over. It's very, very attractive when it comes out in its flowers. So most of our trees have got they can either have a white or a yellow flower or nothing, and most of them have got nothing really.
Oh.
And this is typical of New Zealand. New Zealand is foliage, beautiful different variety of leaves, and in our ferns as well, a huge array of ferns in New Zealand.
Right.
And
Yes,
What are
yes,
these?
see the beautiful, probably a wee bit late, but a little earlier. They're just tremendous
We saw them in
colour
January,
through.
they were great.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely fabulous, aren't they?
I'm hoping to grow some at the front of our place.
This is a
Would be the
flax?
biggest array of flaxes anywhere in New Zealand, I'm sure.
And
Just utterly staggering.
how is this processed then? How is it used?
Well,
That's not the flax that's used in linen.
No.
No. There's another one that's used in linen.
although you could probably use some of them, but
Yes.
they used to have quite an industry in New Zealand, and during the war, particularly, they had a lot of flax industries around Geraldine and other places like that, didn't they?
Yes, I know. We've seen
What's it
lots
called?
and lots of those.
Punga, P-U-N-G-A.
Oh yes, they get 10, 20 feet
Yes,
tall.
they get very high. Yes. These are all New Zealand natives. The little shrubby thing there at the back there. At one stage, I got a truckload of chips, wood chips, but it was chips of the ends of trees, so like this stuff chopped up. And I've had trees come up all over the place, and I just transplanted them around. A lot of these trees, this one would have come from that wood chip. Quite a lot. This one did too. This one came from there.
What is?
Yeah. No, this isn't a kowai.
What's that one?
I don't know what it is, but this is another thing that's peculiar about New Zealand. There's a number of trees that have a immature, a juvenile, and an adult foliage, and this is one of the trees that does. You see the foliage up here? That's the juvenile coming in there, and the mature one is this much finer one, which comes later. It's quite a big tree. That you see the stump in there. It's only been there for that thing's only been there for about 3 years. 3 or 4 years. Just incredible growth. You see the different sort of leaves it's got on it, and that gets quite a nice variegated effect with the orange tips on it. This tree's about twice as old as that one.
Really? Really?
Trevor, what is the name of this big one?
It hasn't had a good life.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, what are these?
Possums love it. You know, they get that grows down.
Let me get these possums straight. Are the possums brown or gray?
Both?
And black.
Correct.
Most of the roadkill we've seen have been brown small mammals. And are those what you call possums?
Yes, they are.
Well, they're very different from the possums we have in the U.S.
Yes, they are. The marsupial imported from Australia.
Is that right?
Ones that are protected.
Huh.
That's my one and only tomato plant, but it'll keep us going for a while now.
Trevor, that's a hibiscus, isn't it?
That's a hibiscus, yes.
Shows that you don't get
Which, this one?
This one here is a hibiscus.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. But I know this is a deciduous hibiscus. I don't ask me where it comes from and why it's here, but it is a temperate hibiscus. Yeah.
It's very different from most other hibiscus. This is more what we call hollyhock at home.
Yeah, it's like a hollyhock, and it's also like I can't remember it.
What's the grass?
Oh, it's just I don't know what there's. Tussock of some sort. It's a tussock.
Is this the grass that turns brown and is still alive? We see it everywhere.
Yeah, that's over here.
Oh.
No, this is I don't know where that comes from.
Looks like a carniclora of some kind.
Peas coming away there. They had beautiful sweet pea show this year up there. Just tremendous. It's lovely.
What are the little white flowers here?
Daisy.
It's a daisy of some sort, I suppose. I don't. That one.
I'm used to growing.
I know it, but it doesn't come
Can
to
you
mind
hold
at the
one of
moment.
those flowers up, Joan? Get a little shot.
Yeah,
One that's got the yellow. There's
one.
some yellow ones
Oh,
there.
the yellow.
Yeah.
It's a red dahlia.
Yeah, they're
behind it
beautiful.
too, Joan.
Beautiful.
Yep. It's a red dahlia. Dahlia. Look at that. Are we having rhubarb for lunch? For tea?
The rhubarb grows really well in this climate. Really well.
And so do cabbages. We notice cabbages in the market. Look at that huge cabbage.
Oh, those small, those ones. I wouldn't call them big.
Look at the broccoli behind, Wayne.
Yeah, there's good broccoli in behind. That's a nice specimen.
That's a nice specimen there. That's enough for a whole Sunday dinner for a family.
Yeah, the bean crop this year is the worst we've had for years. I don't know why it just hasn't grown well this year. They've been there for this will be probably its 6th year, so it may be time to move it. I think. They do grow. Yeah, they're quite good ones.
Is this again?
New Zealand native trees. Now this is Hebes. This is a very see the very fine foliage on this one. This here is also a Hebe. And a Hebe is characterised by having, if you look down it, see the leaves are opposite, all the way up, the stem. Now, but there's a huge range of them, and those plants there are also Hebes. You see, the one at the front, the dark one in behind, over here, this one, and those three there are all Hebes, and this one that's dying is a Hebe. So that's what I mean when you look at New Zealand. You look at the leaves, the foliage of New Zealand, and all of these are native. See, that's a little Pittosporum there again, different sort, and the Kowai tree. And there are two sorts, which has got it's got called a box Hebe, where it comes out jaggedly. You know, you've got all sorts of things, and the stem itself is not straight, and it grows in this form, whereas the other Hebe Kowai is this one over here. See the tall one, just in behind there? Same sort of leaves, but a totally different growth form, coming straight up there.
Describe the flower, Trevor.
Both of them have got a very bright flower. It's brighter yellow than butter, and it comes down with a curl at the bottom. Comes out when all the leaves are lost over winter, and the Kowai comes out in spring, just covered in these yellow flowers. Very, very bright. You wouldn't get a brighter yellow, I don't think, than the Kowai.
It's the most beautiful tree. Is it one the North Island and one the South Island, or is it?
Yeah, that's a North Island Kowai.
Yeah.
There's probably more than those species, but that's the biggest difference in the Kowai. See, there's your flower there.
Mm-hmm.
The Hebe.
Beautiful flower. Why do they flower in the fall?
Oh, it's been flowering for a long time. You see, all these are old flowers.
I see. Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's just having a bit of a second.
What is this again?
A grapefruit.
Grapefruit, okay. And you have the little green ones?
You got little green ones over here.
And what else do you have in there?
Semi-ripe in there.
Oh,
up a
yes.
bit, Trevor.
There you go, right. There's one in there. Yep, I see. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. And are they fairly large when they finally ripen?
Well, it depends how many it's growing and how well we irrigate it, I think. But they do come quite big. You know, you can get very big ones. But at the moment, that's about the size they're coming to at the moment.
Are they a thick skin or a thin skin?
Fairly thick, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
See, we got a lot of birds.
My.
It's a Cox's orange. But we've taken half of them off. We took one full box off of here.
Of apples?
They're
They're huge.
But that's supposed to be a small apple. I don't know what happened to it this year. It's just gone for it.
Good job with this caging, Trevor.
I have to. Goodness me, that'd be a nice one.
So that's a bit on the tart side.
Yes.
You've already gotten a box off of that little tree.
Yes, that's right.
They're very crisp, but also very juicy with it.
Very juicy and very tasty.
Mhm.
That would be the tastiest.
And here's your nectarine. Is that in fruit now, or is it
Just
finished?
if the birds weren't eating it, I would be taking the last of the fruit off now.
Hmm. And is the small one a nectarine too?
Hmm?
The small one?
Yeah, that's a peach tree,
Uh-huh.
but it's down to that size because the curly leaf got it last year.
Hmm. And what do you have here? You have more apples.
Yeah, this is a Braeburn apple,
Huh.
which is a very big apple, much bigger than the average size would be this size for the Braeburn if you just let it grow to do what it wanted to do, and you can get much bigger ones than that, and they're usually a nice red colour as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's bred from the Cox's orange, crossed with a delicious, golden delicious, and this is a cooking apple.
Mm-hmm.
And it grows very big as well. It's got a long way to go yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we can hold these right into winter on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if the birds didn't eat them. Or either eating them. But
Which one was that, Mary? This one here. And Mary, where are your parents from?
Oh, Nelson.
Oh, Nelson.
Nelson is the north of the South Island.
It's a little bit warmer up there.
you've probably seen pictures with it. It just comes out as a golden sort of a leaf. Well, no, that's an autumn, isn't it? Sorry, that's autumn.
Well, we saw, you know, and I wish I had gotten a picture of that because I haven't seen them anywhere else, but just down south. At one point, there were just a whole row of them, and they were golden.
Oh, that was probably Alexandra in central Otago.
Yes, they might. Yeah, they'll be turning, probably starting to turn
There's a
now.
lake that's very famous, and it has this border of poplars around it, and it's on all the calendars.
Well, no, this was just out in the country somewhere. It was out somewhere along the road.
In
It's on the way back from
Milford,
Sound.
yep.
Yeah, we were on our way from Milford into Fargo. And at one point, they were just all these beautiful
now,
golden poplars.
these poplars in America, they'll grow as tall as that and then die. Very short-lived. Very short-lived.
Don't know when they die.
How long do they? Are they long-lived here?
Very long. I've never seen one that's died from age.
Well, we have seen some dead poplars, but most of them are very hardy-looking, like this.
Some of the ones, the old Lombardis in central Otago.
You see the yellow over here. That's a poplar hedge, and that's got rust. It's not. That's a rust disease, and that came in about 5 or 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I suppose. And came right through the country, and a lot of our poplars did die. They just couldn't handle the rust coming in.
It wasn't old age, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Well, here we are back out again at Paul and Sally's place, and it's Monday afternoon. And we've been working out here on the building, hoping to move it along. Very, very slow workers. Let's go see what's happening. The gals went on into town, and they were going to do some shopping and take care of some business, and we've been looking at the pigs too. So there's what it's all about. Sleepy pigs. We don't have smell-o-vision. If we had smell-o-vision, you could really tell that we were out here in the hog pens. Though it's not really too bad. He keeps a very, very clean farm. So finally the painted sheets are going up. And we were doing some leveling this morning. We'll go take a look at that. So that's as far as we've gotten. Ouch. Ooh, I got a stone in my shoe. Peter, you took my job away from me. Yeah.
Plenty of shovels.
Got to get this leveled down so we can pour concrete. Well, no reason why I ought to stand and watch.
The park, isn't it?
Except that I got a rock in my shoe and I got to get that out first. Huh. Hank, you got any more shovels laying around? Shovels. Gotcha. Hey, Herbie. Hey, Herbie. Come on, Herbie. Now Paul's back, and he's going to have to remove some of the rock and dirt from here. As you notice, it's really rock-laden because it's a bit too high, because there's a 4-inch concrete going to go in the middle here with the spill pipes like these. And of course, here's our supervisor, Herbie. Here's Herbie, the supervisor. Hey, Herb. There he is. Over 20 tons of barley just arrived here. Paul spends over $500,000 New Zealand for barley and feed for his pigs. And they're getting ready now to elevate this up into the bins. And nothing seems to stop him. But now we have a little problem. The rain is starting to fall.
Don't jump! Don't jump!
The cable popped off the pulley there.
Still doesn't seem to be right. Put the light up, put it. What time did you guys finish up there?
It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and the sun reflecting off of the mountains. Simply beautiful. Yeah, that's a beauty.
The wee one with his legs walking up, see him wobbling? Yeah, he's got it too.
It's sad.
Yes, he is.
Is he the son of that really expensive prince doll you bought? Sorry, that one still around at $85,000. You got it? No, the sorry of him. 60 or 80 acres.
To put more than one bull in?
Yeah.
Well, they've got to have room to get away. Yeah. Well, I would say sort of 45, 50 acres, something like that, yeah. Otherwise, they just hound him out of the...
This is this season's fawns?
That's half of them, yeah.
Hmm.
So there's actually some quite good ones in there too.
They'll be born in November?
November, December.
Well, they grow fast.
Yep. That wee guy there, you can pet him.
Did you hand rear him?
Yeah. Yep. He likes a bit of tender loving attention here.
Hmm. You raised them on a bottle.
Yep.
This is pure elk.
Next best thing to it, I would say that blood type, yes, probably go. 1 year she'll give her pure, and the next year she'll, be a touch under. So,
Not bred with red deer at all?
no.
Mm-hmm.
Mother of it is a New Zealand Wapiti. Got a very high graded one. And I only use elk bulls over them next time. But they are pretty.
Beautiful pictures.
It won't be long before that hair's out about 2 inches. Doesn't take long at all. Like right now, it's just short and fluffy, but that'll be about 2 inches long and real soon.
For the winter?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they're warm.
How many do you have here, Harold? How many deer, elk?
Well, I got up to about 180 at one stage,
Mm-hmm.
and right now it's down a bit from that.
Is that?
Down a bit somewhere.
Is it a fairly what do I want to say, lucrative? But look at them out there.
What a scrap out there.
Yep.
That hurts too. It was a wee fella, not much bigger than this, that bust my kneecap.
Harold, do you do it for hobby or do you do it for a profit-making venture?
It's his profit. It's meant to be profit. They came back later and there was two in the pen. But yeah, like there is good money. The velvets, there's really good money in that. That's come up quite well. Doing well with it.
Is that to the Koreans?
Yeah, most of it would go that way.
These are all young bulls in here. That's the dominant one.
Red one.
You bottled him?
Yep.
Her?
Yeah.
You mean you came out every day?
No, I took it home. So we penned by the house.
Ah.
So start off, you've got to get up about sort of 2 in the morning or something to go out and give it a feed too, which is quite a nuisance.
Yeah, I know.
She is really, really nice.
And again in the morning there at breakfast time, and again at dinner time, and again at tea time, and again in the middle of the night.
Wow.
So you get
Well, I wean off. But you don't get up in the middle of the night there for food.
the first, right, yeah, it's not long for the middle phase, and then you cut it back, so we bring that.
3 a day.
You're still looking at good 3 weeks anyway. It reaches your sleep.
It's like having a baby.
That's worse.
Exactly. The baby is right there in the house with you.
And you've got to wipe the bum. It's not just a matter of going out there and feeding it. you got to wipe their backsides as well, because they don't shit unless you're white. So that's where early days people had so many animals they helicopter caught all these little ones, and they wouldn't live. They'd all constipate and die. So they didn't know that you've got to do that. So when the old girl's feeding it, she's feeding one end and licking the other. So it's just let's go. But we don't let.
What is this play going on over here?
Just figuring out who's bigger. Yeah, they're only young animals. No real problem with them. When you get the big guys, they're different.
Who's watching who here is what I want to know.
But they are cute. I like them.
You dehorn them?
Yep.
Well, that's when you take the velvet off.
Okay.
The velvet is the immature antler.
And yep, we give him a dose of the creep. I toddled up, and he says, would you like a Moro? And I said, wait until we get over to the other wee knob. I says, we'll sit over there and we'll have a Moro. And in my mind, just down the wee gut below us, there had to be a deer. So we walked over this wee knob, sat down, I said, now I'll have the Moro. And he was taking it out, and I put one hand in my mouth, I lifted the gun, I pulled the trigger, and I started chewing on it. What are you doing, And he looked around, and he hadn't seen anything. And this animal, I saw it, his head came up through the fern there, and it died. I just lifted the gun, bang, and went back to chewing my Moro again. Here, and I'll pick one up, so we got some meat for tonight to eat. And he laughed at me and thought I was just having him on. Anyway, doodled up, we beat it, quite a steep little climb, and up into this bit of bush. Walked forward, opened up the stuff, I squeezed the trigger, I never even lifted the gun, and I squeezed the trigger there, and had this 10-point stag. That was good fun. So next day we shot 2 more up on the top, another 2 on the top, and at least I got those.
This is the race, Harold.
Oh yeah. Whoops. And he had 3 pigs. So it was good. So what happened was that every time, every time we used to go out, if I shot 1 deer, he shot 1 pig. If I shot 3 pigs, or 3 deer, but he'd shoot 3 pigs.
Has he ever shot a deer? He hasn't shot a deer with you yet, though, has he?
Yeah, did about the last trip we went out.
Well, that'd be about the first time.
He always got pigs. It never failed.
Suddenly disappeared.
You go and make your deer.
A wabbity.
Oh, that's a beautiful hunt.
They're all beautiful.
Where did you shoot him, Harold? Oh, that was the domestic one.
Yeah.
What's a wabbity?
That.
That's the elk we've been looking at, right?
That's an elk, or yes, that's a female. But that's a winter coat, like you can see. That's why they keep warm. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And if you look inside that, there's actually wool inside it. Right. So down inside to here, then they have a little layer of wool.
Oh, right.
And it's just tiny stuff,
It's just like
mohair.
my German Shepherd's got like that.
Yep.
Thick, coarse outer hairs.
Yeah, so that's what keeps them warm.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 layer.
Yep. Wabbity form.
It's beautiful.
Is that one too?
Hey, run up to the bedroom and grab my prize.
You're real little babies.
Red deer.
Yep. Yeah, just slinkies. Shoot the mother and take out the little one. And a wee white tail slinky. And a chamois, which is the same. That one there. That's a buck.
They may not know what a chamois is, Harold.
Show you in a minute.
It's the Swiss Alpine.
Like a goat, yeah.
Goat.
Wow. Is this your coat now?
Yep.
Oh. I've got a rabbit on.
That's mine, eh? Yeah.
Harold, you're going to tell us that you made the coat too, aren't you?
I paid the money to have a lady make it for me. I skinned all the baby deer.
Oh, it's slinky.
Yep.
Oh, it suits you.
That's my jacket. I wore it into the Horrada pub thinking they were going to talk to me a wee bit, but it was all right. Quite a favourable response. But the boulders come up to about here because the fireworks go in it, so then it'll be all boulders, and so you can sit on it, and then I have pillars coming up under here, and up the side and across there will be all boulders, and then the boulders go to that line Yeah, they were going to go way up, we were going to put sort of like a shingle front.
Right.
But about 3 tonne hanging there and we decided not to. So we're only going up to about the top of that nice little calendar there.
The bricklayers doing
Where'd you get the mountain goat?
Which one?
What is that? The white one there?
It's just an ordinary goat. Came from up by Nelson.
Oh, oh I thought that was
Yeah,
like a Himalaya.
No. That's our wild goats. Then the fallow, they're quite a nice one. And that's our little white tail,
Mm-hmm.
just a wee guy. My water buffalo, and a couple of the red stag up top. That red's still catching them. Plenty of them too.
Remind us,
That time I went back and another goat.
the other day we did, didn't
Hmm.